Lizzie Hunter in studio along with Craig Allen, Jimmy Patsos, the whole gang here. And really, the reason that we're doing this, in addition, I want to get your non-conference schedule and go over that a little bit, but the basketball, Coaches vs. Cancer basketball event that you and Will hook up with and try to drive as many people and raise as much money as we can is coming up on September 19th. And Lizzie, do you want to tell us about a item? This is a silent auction item? Live. Huh? Live auction item that you're going to want to bid on, especially if you're a baseball fan. Yes. So very gracious donation that we got. Very exciting. We have the general manager's box for the Yankees. You and 4 friends get to go.
Yes. No Red Sox fans.
Oh, yeah. No Red Sox fans, I guess. And you get to go with Jimmy and sit in the general manager's box at Yankee Stadium. So that's pretty awesome because you can't buy that.
No, Cashman's good. Cashman's a big, his favorite sport is, he grew up in Lexington, Kentucky, is college basketball. You know, Joe, right. He was there when Joe B. Hall, who still, we just did that. 19 guys who've won the national championship are alive. 2 of them are in Kentucky, 3, Joe B. Hall and Denny Crum, and then, of course, Patino and, Calipari are still coaching. He grew up in Lexington. You guys know what that's like. It's a crazy. So his other sport is college basketball. Then we meet him. I meet him at school. And then he's followed our career, and I've followed clearly his. But he loves the college basketball thing. So Cashman's a really good guy. I don't care if Red Sox fans bid on it. But he's a very normal guy. But he came to our games. But he's following. Like, he texted me right after McGill. Good win. You needed that one. Get tomorrow night. I mean, this guy's into it. Now, for those who don't know, tell our audience your relationship with Cashman. Well, I've known Brian. I've known him when he was 14. We went to Ted Williams camp together down in Massachusetts, and then we went to Catholic University together. But he's just a really normal guy, but he's a very charitable guy. Like, he does the climb. He sleeps with the homeless. He climbs the wall. He's very into all that, so... Can you get him on our show? I would go. We had him on your show.
This is Rodger's shtick here lately.
Hey, look, Rodger's got it. That's why Rodger's number one. No. We had him on before. We did, because at another radio station that I worked at, Coach comes in and goes, you want Cashman? I'm like, huh? And I didn't know your relationship. Yeah, we'll get him in. Next thing you know, boom, 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 and I've got Cashman on the air just like that. Now, this now, you could tell him. They're playing better. It's a good time to ask him. The Yankee, we care the Yankee. No, I'll do it, because I'm going to see him on the 20th. I see him the day after the event on the 20th. Cool. No, he can't come to the event, Lizzie. Take it easy over there, okay? Pump the brakes over there, okay? He's in the middle of a pretty important stretch here, since he's trying to make the playoffs. And now, see, this is and Lizzie in baseball. This is the end of the season, so they're really trying to make the playoffs here.
If you bid a high enough number to get into the GM's box for this game, can you try to swing some deals? Will Cashman give you the sell?
I was there.
Call Dombrowski?
I was there on trade deadline when we had to do a thing for Catholic University. We did a little a video that they use for, like, welcoming freshmen, and hey, we somehow or other made it. Me and him were laughing like, would you believe they're asking us to do this? It was the trade deadline. Tim Nearing does a lot for him. For those who do, he's got his 10 or 12 guys that I scare every time I go there. You know, the Yale, MIT, Cal Poly cybermetrics guys. I love going in. What are you guys doing? How's it going? Where'd you go last night? They're all like, OBP, BPA. And I'm like, take it easy over there. So meanwhile, that's what it's all about, the metrics of the game. And then Tim Nearing comes in. Tim Nearing, who played for the Red Sox, is a Cincinnati fan. He's from Cincinnati, Tim Nearing. Big, knows Xavier, knows Huggins, knows Mix Crone, and goes to the game. So it's funny, he knows how big, like, a rivalry game is, like our game with Albany. We start talking about basketball. But 2 minutes in, they go, we got to go. It was the day they got Sonny Gray. And they're very into it. But he does. Cashman's like a real hands-on guy. And it's very interesting to watch him. And then you see Randy Levine next door because they're trying to sell tickets. It's cool to watch the operation when you go to the box, because Randy Levine's box is one way. And then there's other people, they're all right there. And then he'll take you back and he shows you the big board in his office. But they're working it. And they're checking, whether it's a cybermetrics guy. And Nearing, of course, is like the old school, but that's his baseball guy. He found Didi Gregorius for Yankees fans. That's how they got him. He'll tell them whether you should take Castro or not. Or I'm like, how's Ellsbury doing? And Nearing's like, we need him for the stretch run because of his experience, and now he's coming through. In other words, it's interesting to hear all this stuff 20 minutes later, because the Mets had gotten somebody from, actually, I think one of the kids from here, local kids here, had been traded to a pennant team. and the Tampa Bay deal was going down. But next thing I know, the Sonny Gray deal went down that day. So it's a very interesting thing. They have a lot more moving parts, you know. But yet, of course, me, dummy, goes, let's get Verlander. And they all look at me. Nearing's like, there's 120 on the books. I'm like, we got to win this year. They're like, take it easy over there. Because they're getting rid of salaries this year. But now CC is clearly earning his money. Going to probably sign again. But A-Rod's coming off the books. It's all being talked about. So if I was anybody, if I was a real fan, I would go to this.
Cool. So, Lizzie, do you have a number in mind not that I need you to reveal the number, but do you have a number that we've got to get this? This is just too good of an item. Like, who's doing it? Is Freddie doing it?
Yes.
So Freddie be up there and you're thinking, come on, we got to have him keep going.
Start at
3,000?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, it's an item you can't buy. You can't buy a trip to Yankee Stadium, the general manager's box, with Jimmy Patsos. So you have to get it here, or else you'll never get it.
Yeah.
I go 3,000 to start.
All right, let's start the bid
we got an
right here.
opening
We have
bid.
our first bid.
We've got an opening bid.
You and Steve.
That's the two key things when I do this. Like, what's the opening bid? And then can we get that rolling? So then Craig would raise
Yeah, and it's funny because Jeff Sperber, our friend, has been down there with me before. The guy at Huck Finn, very generous guy, and he was in there when we were some auction people, and they would and they look. There's all food and drinks and everything. It's all taken care of, parking and everything. So he's a very generous guy to do stuff like that. But anyways, they're in a tight race. How about that? All of a sudden they're right there.
Yeah.
You know, them and the Red Sox. It'll be really interesting to see what happens here down the stretch.
All right, you want to get to your non-conference schedule?
Yeah, another tough schedule.
Right,
really tough schedule.
At the College of Charleston season opener.
You know, it's funny. That's a really interesting game because Charleston's close enough. It's a great city. You know, Pat Conroy, Prince of Tides, my losing season, to their basketball history. You know, Charleston, Bobby Cremins coach there. But it's an easy trip. It's a Friday night. Then they come back here. They're picked to win their league. Florida Gulf Coast next. They're picked to win their league. Yep. Lehigh came in second last year. Bucknell picked to win their league. Hofstra's rebuilding. Albany's obviously going to
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's me and John Dargenio. This is how it goes.
What are you doing?
Hey, I work. Me and John. The problem is no big teams will come here anymore. So John Dargenio and I have to figure out how do we draw people, that extra 1,000 people, and create interest. And it's playing good teams. But we can't get the BCS schools to come here. So Hofstra is good because Joe, St. Bonaventure, same school. St. Bonaventure, the Franciscans founded us. A-10 school. Albany, one of the top mid-major teams in the last 5-10 years, maybe, winning record. Vermont picked to win their league. It'll be 1-2. Holy Cross, there's a ton of Holy Cross grads here. My lawyer, Dick Walsh, is a Holy Cross grad. And I had breakfast with Fran McCaffrey yesterday. Great time, 76 dining, me and him in the back for an hour and a half. Fran was teaching me some stuff, and we were talking, and Holy Cross had gotten stopped. He was like, that's a good game to play. Robert Morris, they're trying to look around at other leagues, I've heard, so... In Pittsburgh, my wife's from, so we'll go, they come here, we'll go there. But how do you get good teams? You gotta go play them, Roger.
Yeah. But these are all NCAA tournament caliber teams coming out of their respective leagues. You could pick like middle of the pack out of those leagues.
Yeah, I know, but it is what it is. You got to get them to come here. Holy Cross went to the NCAA 2 years ago, and then we got Louisville and Memphis. Great trip to Louisville. We're taking the charter, and then Bryant, who's going to be picked like third in the NEC this year. But that's just how it goes. What you want to do is just survive your non-conference. But it did help us get better last year. I mean, we just lost a lot of close games last year, you know, on the road and stuff. We have to learn how to win them. But it's good for the fans because the problem is, it's not a problem. It's just, the issue is that our fan base is great. I love the fans here. Really lucky to coach at Siena. Great fan base, great passionate fan base. Well, they want good games. And if they're going to buy the tickets and come to the arena, 5,000 and 6,000 people, you got to give them what they want. I would much rather have a BCS school come in than I have nothing sort of to lose to play Maryland, like Herter's brother or whatever, come up here. But they're just not going to do it. There's a new mandate out by the NCAA, Roger, telling the big schools not to really play the little guys that are good anymore. You can't afford a loss.
Right. Yeah.
Because on Selection Sunday, as you guys know, you two watch it close, the RPI, did you play a team and lose that you shouldn't have lost to? Right. Or some big teams are going back, I've heard, next year to 20 league schedules. In other words, the ACC got 8 teams in out of 16. Had they not played 2 non-conference and played each other, they would get 9 teams in. And they just want teams in the NCAA. You know, I think the days of the mid-majors taking 2 teams is over. That's too bad. But unfortunately, you got to deal the hand you're dealt. But we want good games. And so John and I have said, like, Florida Gulf Coast is coming here. That's Dunk City. Now College of Charleston comes back. Bucknell, we're keeping it going, things like that. So you do the best you can.
All right, gentlemen and ladies, thank you very much for stopping by. Craig, good seeing you.
Most
Coach
important
Patsos.
thing is the 19th. Mike Bray's a great guy. It's a really good event. It's down. Gavin Donahue, who built the convention center down there.
6:30 to 7:30 is the VIP reception.
And it's at the convention center, right?
Convention Center, Albany Capital Center, and then roughly 7 to 10 in that range for the night if you're trying to plan when you're getting in and when you're getting out. Inspiration.
Oh, we need all the Notre Dame fans down.
Yeah,
Come on in.
And we'll have Mike Bray Thursday at 11:30 here. And then the Fighting Spirit Award, Marianne Donnelly, and the Voice of Hope Award to Doug McClain.
Yeah, the Donnelly thing's really important because that's involved with Ken Raymond, who's been one of the first guys here to put money up to get this thing going. A long time ago, Coaches versus Cancer. Without him, Bob Curley, John Murray, this event probably doesn't get off the ground. So, but it's going to be another interesting year. I'll come in whenever you want. Please go to Craig Allen's store.
We will.
I'm bringing Mike Bray by your store.
We'll pump it and pump it. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies. Lizzie, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming in.